Episode 29. For many students at community colleges, one of the biggest obstacles standing between them and graduation is a crippling fear of math. Studies show that a shocking 80% of community college students experience math anxiety, a paralyzing dread of anything involving numbers, equations, or quantitative reasoning. This is a much higher rate than the 25% of students at four-year universities who struggle with similar math anxieties. When students are gripped by this kind of anxiety towards a subject, it can quickly spiral into a vicious, self-reinforcing cycle. The anxiety makes them want to avoid math classes and assignments at all costs. They skip lectures, ignore homework, and put off studying, convinced that they're simply bad at math. And of course, the more they avoid engaging with math, the worse they end up performing in those classes. This only further cements their belief that they lack the skills and abilities to succeed, feeding right back into their initial anxiety. Over 70% of community college students who are required to take remedial math courses never end up passing them, leaving them unable to complete their degree programs. For many, this math class represents an insurmountable barrier standing between them and achieving their educational and career goals. It's a heartbreaking reality that robs countless motivated students of the chance to reach their full potential. But one dedicated professor, Altose, is working to break this cycle of math anxiety at his community college in Ohio. Altose knows this struggle firsthand. He himself had a terrible time in his first college math class, convinced that he just couldn't do it. After briefly working in a hospital, he decided to go back and get a master's degree in math, determined to become a teacher and help other students who felt as lost and hopeless as he once did. At Cuyahoga Community College, Altose began experimenting with new approaches to supporting his students who were dealing with crippling math anxiety. He tried coaching them on stress management techniques, lecturing about the importance of sleep, and even leading relaxation exercises before exams. But nothing seemed to make a real difference. His students' anxiety and poor performance persisted. Then in 2012, Altose attended an education conference where he met researcher Jeremy Jameson. Jameson had been exploring an intriguing, counterintuitive idea. What if, instead of trying to eliminate students' anxiety, the key was to help them view it differently? His studies had shown that when people are told their anxiety is a sign they're about to perform well, their actual performance ends up improving by an astonishing 33%. Altose was immediately intrigued. He partnered with Jameson to put this stress mindset intervention into practice with his own students. Before a big math exam, some of Altose's classes received a presentation explaining how anxiety isn't a weakness, but a physiological response that can improve performance if you approach it the right way. These students were encouraged to reframe their pre-test jitters as a sign that their body was getting revved up to ace the exam, rather than a harbinger of impending failure. The results were dramatic. The students who received the stress mindset intervention saw measurable improvements in their test scores, and their final grades in the course went up as well. One student even told Altose, "Before a test, I feel bad, but maybe what I really feel is determined." For Altose, this approach isn't just about improving academic outcomes. It has the power to truly transform his students' lives. Many of them are single parents, working multiple jobs, or facing other immense challenges in their personal lives. Passing this one math class represents a major milestone, a critical step towards achieving the dreams they've worked so hard for, whether that's earning a college degree, launching a career, or building a better future for themselves and their families. By empowering his students to reframe their anxiety as a positive, motivating force, Altose is giving them the confidence and determination to overcome this obstacle. And the lessons from his work extend far beyond just math anxiety. As the author's own experience with a crippling fear of flying illustrates, avoiding the things that make us anxious may provide temporary relief, but it ends up reinforcing our fears and drastically limiting our lives. It's only when we choose to face our anxieties, however terrifying that may be, that we can start to regain a sense of control and open ourselves up to new possibilities. By putting the science of stress mindsets into practice, Altose is helping his community college students break free from the cycle of math anxiety that has held so many of them back. In doing so, he's not just improving their academic performance, he's transforming the way they see themselves and what they're capable of achieving. It's a powerful example of how changing our perspective on stress can unlock our true potential and help us start achieving the dream, no matter what challenges stand in our way.